Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are doing fine at home. Yes, I am your teacher Neha and today we are going to see 10th standard chemistry and name of the lesson is periodic classification of elements. So today we are going to see the fourth part of this lesson. So children, in the previous class we have studied about the periodic table in brief. We got to know that in periodic table there are rows and columns. There are 18 columns and 7 rows, and according to that only all the character of these elements will differ from left to right and top to bottom. And in previous video we have discussed about the main concept of metallurgy. So metallurgy is a process of extraction the mineral and then from that mineral we are taking out the element. So children, in this lesson we are going to see how the elements can be obtained from its ore by the process of metallurgy. So today we are going to see the metallurgy of 3 elements, that is aluminium, copper and iron. So let's go to the chapter. So children, before going into the chapter we should know what are the physical properties of an metal. So children, physical properties of a metal is, first of all the metals generally they will be shining. So we can write the first point as all the metals will be lustrous. Second point, here over you can see that this is a aluminium foil. That means that metal can be converted into thin sheets and that property is known as malleability. Same way, if these bulk metals can be converted into thin wires, the property is known as ductility, and generally all the metals will be having a thin layer formation or a thin wire formation which is known as ductility. Okay. So after this children, there is a concept that means how you can say that a metal is always a good conductor of electricity or whether it's a bad conductor of electricity. So always generally metal will be good conductor of electricity plus heat. Okay. Same way you will see that whenever you are taking a metal and you are striking over the metal, you can hear some sound. So that means that all the metals are having a property of sonoricity. Okay. So sound can be formed. So the fourth property is sonority or sonorous. Okay students. After that, the physical state of all the metals are generally in solid, except there is mercury which is a solid metal, but here the mercury will always be present in a liquid state. Okay? Yes, these are the physical properties of metal. So now let's see what are the chemical properties of metal. So the chemical property first is valence electrons. So valence electron means that there is an atom. So there will be outer shell. In that shell, if the electron can be removed easily, that means the valence electrons can move, and you will see that the second point will come there, that is formation of ion. If there is a removal of electron, then an atom will become as an ion. Same way, discharge of ion will be there. Discharge means removal of ion will be there from the metals. Same way, atomicity. Atomicity means how many atoms are present in a particular element or a substance. And the last one is nature of oxides. So metals are generally acidic in nature, and same way if you are adding with a base, they will become a solid and a salt. Now let's see the topic which we are going to talk about. So the topic is metallurgy of aluminium. So let's see how the aluminium is being extracted. So before going into this, we should know that there are three main ores of aluminium. So let's go from left to right. So this ore name is bauxite. Okay, what is the name? Bauxite. So bauxite is a substance which is having high number of aluminium, that is maximum amount of aluminium present. Okay, same way this is also known as the chief ore of aluminium. After that comes the second one, which is cryolite. What is this? Cryolite. So cryolite is having aluminium, fluorine and sodium into that. Same way there is one more element which is known as corundum. C-O-R-U-N-D-U-M. So this is a substance which is a anhydrous substance of aluminium oxide. Same way bauxite is also aluminium oxide but hydrated. It's having two molecules of water. And I said that bauxite is the chief ore of aluminium. So let's do the extraction using bauxite. So how the process has been done, let's see there. So the first process which we are going to see is conversion of the bauxite into alumina. That means we are removing the water molecules because alumina is aluminium oxide. So first we are taking the ore of red color, and we are just grounding it and we are making it as a powder. So what is this? This is bauxite. In bauxite, we are adding some amount of caustic soda. So caustic soda is also known as sodium hydroxide. So I'll write here the formula of sodium hydroxide. After adding sodium hydroxide, you have to grind it at a very high temperature, and the here temperature is 150 degrees Celsius. What is the temperature? 150 degrees Celsius. When you are grinding and you are mixing it properly, you will see that a substance has been formed which is white in color, and this substance is known as sodium meta-aluminate. Okay, sodium meta-aluminate is formed, plus a high amount of gas is being liberated. So what is this gas? This is hydrogen gas which has been removed. Okay, so in the first step we got sodium meta-aluminate. After getting sodium meta-aluminate, what you are doing is you are removing this gas, and in sodium meta-aluminate you are adding water. When you are adding water, you will see that some kind of precipitate is formed. So this precipitate is hydroxide of aluminium. So you can write this is aluminium hydroxide. Okay, so hydroxide, in this hydroxide will be present, and one liquid will be formed which is a sodium nitrate liquid. Okay, or the liquid is not required. Now when you are getting aluminate or here aluminium hydroxide, you have to heat it. So when you are heating it at a very high temperature, which is known as heating process or calcination process, you will get a powder, and this powder is nothing but, this powder is your alumina. So alumina is what, children? Alumina is Al2O3. Okay, so before going to this step you are taking this, you are heating it at 1500 degrees Celsius, and after that you are just tapping it so that it becomes powder, and this is the alumina which you are getting, right? So this is the first step. After this first step, there is the second step, and the second step is reduction of alumina to aluminium, and the process is known as Hall's process. So what we are doing here is, we are taking a jar. In the jar we need a cathode and a anode, because this is electrolytic. electricity will be provided. So what you have to do is, there is a cathode. So in this cathode, the cathode is made up of pure carbon, which is graphite, and same way anode is having carbon, and this carbon is nothing but it's the graphite with so many rods in that. You can see over here, right? So what happens is, when the electricity is passed at the temperature 900 degree to 950 degree Celsius, you will see that all the aluminium from this substance will get settled down and it will go sit next to the cathode, and same way the impurities will go and stick to the anode. So here you got molten aluminium, plus the electrolyte which we have used here is cryolite. Okay, so this is the electrolyte we have used. Same way, after when you are getting this aluminium, here the reaction will go as aluminium Al2O3, that is alumina. When you are heating it at a very high temperature with the electricity, you are getting aluminium, that is Al, plus O2. So O2 is the oxygen which is getting combined with the carbon, and here it will go as carbon dioxide gas. So this way we got aluminium. Okay students? So after getting aluminium, we have to see what are the properties of aluminium. So children, aluminium is a very shiny white color metal. So what it is? It is shiny. So first point here is, it is shiny. Same way, you are getting aluminium foils, right? So here over this picture you can see that you are getting a thin sheet of aluminium. That means aluminium can have the property of malleability. Same way, aluminium will also become in thin wires, and that property is known as ductility. So students, after getting ductility, you will see that aluminium is not a very good conductor of heat and electricity, but when you are adding some impurities into aluminium, it will act as a very good conductor. Okay? And same way, aluminium is having very low density. What it is? Low density. Okay children? So after having low density, you are seeing that these are the physical properties of aluminium. Now let's go to the chemical properties of aluminium. So first, if you are seeing in a reaction, how the reaction will go on is, if we are taking air. So in air there are two gases produced, right? One is the oxygen gas and another one is nitrogen gas. So how the reaction will go on is, you are taking 4 atoms of aluminium plus you are adding 3 molecules of O2. The reaction will go on as 2Al2O3. Here alumina you are getting, right? Same way, if it reacts with the nitrogen which is present in the air, the reaction will go on as 2Al plus N2. Okay? So the reaction will go on as a nitride will be formed, and the nitride is aluminium nitride. Okay? Same way, if you are taking water and you are reacting with aluminium, the reaction will go on as 2Al plus 3 molecules of H2O. When you are doing the reaction, you will get Al2O3, which is aluminium, plus you are getting 3 molecules of H2 in the gas form. So this is where the reaction is getting done. Same way, here you are seeing that it is very easy reactions. Okay. Now let's go to the second reaction. Here you can see that how the reaction will happen with the alkali. So what is an alkali? Yes, alkali is a base, but all bases are not alkaline. This is a hydroxide form. Okay. So how the reaction will go on, if you are taking sodium hydroxide, you will write 2 molecules of aluminium plus 2NaOH plus you are adding water also, okay, 2H2O. When you are doing the reaction, you are getting 2 NaAlO2 plus you are getting 3 molecules of H2 gas. So what is this, children? This is sodium meta-aluminate. Okay, this is an oxide form of aluminium. Same way, if you are seeing the reaction with the acids, generally if you are taking a dilute acid, it will react and it will give you some kind of halides. So here, if you are doing the reaction will go on as you are taking 2 molecules of Al plus you are adding 6 molecules of HCl, which is a dilute from hydrochloric acid. That the reaction will come as aluminium chloride, AlCl3 plus here again you will see that hydrogen gas has been removed. So what is the hydrogen gas? 3H2 gas is getting liberated. Same way, if you are reacting with sulfuric acid, which is in dilute form, you will write it as 3H2SO4, and when the reaction is happening, you are getting aluminium sulfate. So aluminium sulfate you can write it as Al2SO4, and SO4 is thrice plus H2 gas is being liberated. Same way, if you are doing the reaction with a concentrated sulfuric acid, here you are getting an extra product and that extra product will be sulfur dioxide gas. Okay. Same way, you are saying that aluminium is a good reducing agent. That means it will remove the oxygen which is present in a substance. Okay. So how the reaction will go on is, if you are taking Fe2O3, what is this? This is ferric oxide. Ferric oxide plus if you are taking 2 atoms of aluminium, the reaction will go on as 2Fe, that is oxygen has been removed and you are getting alumina, Al2O3 plus a large amount of heat energy has been removed. Okay? Yes. So students, what are the uses of aluminium? So aluminium is a very light metal. So generally aluminium you will see where all things it is being used. So it is used to make aluminium foils, utensils and even the aircraft framework. Okay, the outer part of the framework, because the density is low and to fly we need something lighter in weight. Same way it is also used in automobile to frame the shape of the car or any equipment. Same way wires are also being used. Okay children. So children, in this lesson we have seen how the substance of alumina or the mineral of alumina ore is being converted into aluminium, the physical and the chemical properties of aluminium. Later on we have seen the uses of aluminium. So students, in next class we are going to see about how the extraction of copper and how the extraction of iron has been done. So students, I hope you have enjoyed the session. Until we meet next time with the other 2 extraction, till then be home, be safe at home and take care. Until then, bye bye.